morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Conversations with Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. Welcome back to another great episode of Conversations with Richardson. You know, each and every week I give you great topics, inspirational topics, and a lot of stuff on mental health, drug addiction, the gambit, man, disability, everyday life, and today will not be any different. I would also like to welcome in studio my homegirl who's always there when I need her, my high school classmate, and periodically she's a co-host on Conversations with Richardson every once in a while. Welcome back to the airwaves, Miss Angie. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you? Hey, everybody.
How have you been?
I've been great.
What's been going on?
Just came back from Las Vegas again, my favorite place.
Traveling, huh?
Yes, I love it.
All right. Come into your mic a little bit more. Yeah. There you
That's
go.
good?
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
And I would also like to welcome my longtime brother, or our longtime brother and
Yes.
friend since
The bag days.
Bag days. That's a new one, huh? Bag days from Harry S. Truman and L.W. Higgins, Mr. Tyrone Gotti. Ty, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? This is your boy, Sir Ty. Welcome. I thank you so much for having me this morning. How y'all doing?
Welcome to the show, man. How have you been?
Oh, my God. I can't curse, but let's just say bleep fantastic. Yeah.
All right, man. So, we know who you are, man. And I always give brief introductions to my listening audience. But, being that you are the man that wears many hats, I want you to do your own self some justice and tell my listening audience who you are.
I got you. Again, I go by Sir Ty, but my high school people know me as Tyrone. Basically, I'm an actor.
Yeah, man.
I am a producer. I just launched my own entertainment company, and I will be an author next year. So I'm heavily in the entertainment field. I'm a combat veteran, been to Iraq twice, and I'm also a single father of two sons, Prince Jordan, who is 18 and graduated this year, and also Prince Jonathan, who is our basketball star. So, yeah.
So you got a lot going on, man, since the last time we talked. And I just want to bring you into data conversations with Richardson. First of all, I want to welcome you, man, and, just say congratulations on your journey and everything that you have going on. But I want you to tell your story because, since we graduated, a lot has happened and a lot has caused you to go through some changes and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to just break down and, just start talking about what got you to this point in life where you are now, the entrepreneurship, the activism, the, successful man that you are.
Got you. Basically, wow. I guess Angie can attest to this. I've always been a creative. It's just sometimes you don't realize it until you see it for yourself, or you kind of look in the mirror, or you kind of take that moment to step back. Because once you're in something, you really don't know it is happening until other people tell you, or you kind of see it. Like, I guess this did happen. So, but to answer your question, by being in the military, long story short, I was coming back from Iraq the first time, and they just had like a stage play audition in Germany, and I decided to audition. And from there, that's kind of professionally my acting started. But, through church and high school speeches and stuff like that, would always get picked. Okay, Tyrone, you speak, you do this, you make the presentation. I'm like, why do I always get chosen, right? But from that moment, I figured, bouncing back to auditioning for the stage play, I was the only black actor to play a white actor, meaning that I was cast as a Caucasian son in the play, and I was nominated for Best Actor that year in Europe. So I figured once I got out, let me go ahead and put all my talents into this, since this might pop off to something. And once my divorce happened in 2011, I entered into the Art Institute of Atlanta, with video production, and I did an internship for BET Networks. I graduated.
Right.
They loved me so much, and they employed me. So that was kind of the start of the, I guess, creative world for me.
That's crazy. crazy. So it's only been a very few short years since we graduated, but you've done so much. What's going on nowadays?
Whew. Well, nowadays is we're in the soft launch era, and basically, like I said, I love acting, love everything about it, but I want to know how can I say more behind the scene.
Hmm.
And so I'm launching my company is called STG Entertainment. So that's Sir Ty Gowdy Entertainment. Basically, lined up as STG Entertainment, and basically, it's I didn't want to just have a production company because we're just not pigeonholed into doing documentaries and movies.
Right.
Every form of entertainment I want to tap into,
Hmm.
and so that's why I called it that. And so what's going on now? We are doing events, we're doing networking events. My birthday party is being produced by SCG Entertainment. And so basically on May 31st, we just had our first Addicted to Industry, which every director, actor, casting agent, producer was in the building. And my thought was, if everyone is in the building, all the needs can be met. And it was so successful that the production head was like, "When are we having another one?" I was okay. Well,
Yes.
I have an exclusive announcement. I'm trying to hold it, but we'll get to that. And so that's going on. My birthday is July 2nd, but I didn't want to steal, anyone's 4th of July, Essence Fest. So I'm actually celebrating on July 12th here in Atlanta, Georgia, which is going to be phenomenal. Also, I got a fashion show coming up in September. I'm in a stage play in August. I'm speaking in September. What else? Yeah, the Addicted to Acting is my baby. So that's October 4th, and that's like all actor geared, and it's going to have some phenomenal, some stars that will be telling their story on how they are actively in the game and how
Right.
you model their careers and you can kind of be where they are. So there's a lot of moving parts, and this is only what's been confirmed. So I'm booked for the year, but other stuff is coming in as well.
My man is
So,
booked and busy, man. I am so proud of you, man.
but we got a new saying,
Yeah,
booked and blessed. That's gonna be
booked and
on
blessed.
my
All right.
T-shirt. That's coming out soon. But yeah.
All right. All right. So, you're an actor and a filmmaker. I want to ask, you this question. Many creators draw from personal challenges or triumphs. Does any of your life experiences show up in your storytelling, and how so?
Yes. Funny you asked. We're in the month of what? June. So this is the Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
I've, like I said, been to Iraq twice, and so I didn't like talking about it at first because people would, "Oh, you crazy," or "You got this going on," da da da. But it is a part of my story. It is a part of my history. I've been to Iraq twice, and I do suffer from post traumatic stress, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel mental health is very important to me. Therapy is an A plus, and also prayer and God. But to answer your question, yes, when emotional scenes or things happen where I have to tap in or maybe have to write something, I kind of go to that place because recently I shot a documentary about the aftermath of Soldier Story, which is now streaming on YouTube, but we're going to revamp it, do some more edits, and then shop it to the film festivals. But to answer your question, yes, I pulled from that place because I almost committed suicide in 2011.
Really?
And when I say that emotional state is so real, um, what I'm saying? It brings me back almost to that table right now because a lot of people that I know, military wise or personal, that have taken that path. And I'm just saying, wow, at the age of 27, that would have been my story. But God grabbed me, faith had me, and I flushed, the pills down the toilet. And it was an emotional situation. But yes, I pulled from that, and I can talk about it now because I'm over it.
Hmm.
And it's it's deep, it's real, but
Right.
at the same time, I thank God that it didn't manifest. And so when you go into those realms of, let's say, deep drama, I can pull from that. I can tap into that because I've almost experienced up until that point. And so when you're going into those type of roles, you have to know how far to go and then how to come back out. Because some people go and they can't come back out, and you're reliving what you've experienced. So that's probably what we're going to be talking about in Addicted to Acting too, is like not going too far that you can't come back out of it. So to answer your question, yes, I definitely pull from those places and other situations, i.e., I'm happily divorced 2 times over, going through custody battle with my children, just a plethora of things. So on any given day, I can pull my card of emotions.
Take us back to that moment, man. When you decided that you wanted to end it all, what changed and what made you say, I don't want to do this and I'm not going to do this?
Let me hear the question again. You said what got me to that point?
Yeah, what got you to that point, to say, hey, I'm not going to commit suicide and I'm not going to make an attempt upon my life?
Like I said, it was God one, and then my kids two. Right when I'm, yelling at God like, "Hey, like, where you at? If you real, show yourself. Let me know," because it had gotten to the point of exposed. I was preaching at the time. Stuff had came out. My kids was taken away from me. I was going through a divorce. It just felt like I just had got back from Iraq. Everything felt like I was in a corner. Nobody cared. Nobody was listening. Nobody understood. And it was just dark. And the silence was so loud. But the enemy is talking. You ain't going to be nothing. Oh, you might as well go and kill yourself. And it's just voices like just on max, on repeat. And so at that point, I'm like, look here. We can go ahead and just pull the plug. I'm done. My insurance policy good. We're going to make it look like, oh, it was da-da-da. And my children are so young, they're going to be all right. So I had already planned this out. And I said, I'm effing over it. And so when it was time to hand to pill to mouth, it was God. Both of my kids, it was almost like Jonathan was to the right, Jordan to the left. And God said, if you want to do this, you look at your own seed and you tell them that you give up. Because what will be said that, oh, what happened to my dad? Where's my dad at if I would have went ahead and did it? Oh, well, he killed himself because he couldn't handle the presence of life. And so in that moment, I could not go forward because I knew that I had a responsibility, to my children, to make sure that nobody else mishandled them. I had to support them. I had to make sure that they were good. And so though I wanted to, selfishness, I could not because I had a responsibility by being a father to say that I can't do this. Mm-hmm. So merely it was God and it was my children.
That's wild. Because Tyrone, I don't think I ever told, Sir Ty, I don't think I ever told you this, but just everything about you screams strong and just leadership and everything. So the fact that you got to that point, I know that it had to be too much, just way too much for one person to handle for you to even get to that point, because I know how much you love your legacy. Ever since you've been a father and been on social media, I've always heard you talk about your legacy. So to think that you were going to or attempting or about to or thinking of giving that up, it had to have gotten really bad. And I'm glad that God stepped in and gave you that right and left of your children to, change your mind.
Yeah. I tell them every day, listen, like y'all literally are the reason why I'm still here. Now, they didn't hear this story until maybe like 2 years ago, that, oh, you say this, that. But when I broke it down, they literally was just like in depth, like, yeah, you guys, again, are the reason why I am here. Because had not been for what they say, the 3D, I would have been OUT, So I can kind of look at it now and like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, it, like you say, Angie, it was so much pressure and stress and embarrassment and just like you felt like you thrown away. I mean, it's just all type of stuff. It was almost like a stock market of just negativity and doubt and the enemy raging, and all his imps showed up. I was like, baby, they was working overtime. And I was like, you know what? It took God, because I know that it was not me. But at the same time, we do have free will. We do have a choice. We do have a moment to say that, yeah, I can do this. I can alter the ending of my life. But if you take one step and just a deep breath, and you say a prayer, and I guarantee you that God will come in or somebody will call. Like, and then in that moment, my sister called me. I was just boo-hooing. So, what's wrong with you? And I told her, she broke down and we prayed. I'm like, listen, I was about to about to not be here, you know. And so moments or angels will step in if you allow it, you know. So for me, yeah, it did get to that point where I was like, I'm done. I'm over it. I can't take it anymore because every step I took, it felt like it was something that was pushing me against the wall. Like, child, you might as well just go ahead and pull the plug because it's there was no hope. I didn't see any hope. I didn't see any faith. I didn't see God. I didn't see anything. It just was dark and just jump off the cliff. That
Wow.
was it.
And you know, man, a lot of young men don't have anybody to talk to, you know, and mental health is really big with young men, you know, and different things like that. So what would you tell any man who's going through something similar to your situation?
Well, I had the conversation yesterday with two people. When I posted the video, people that I knew, I didn't even know that was going through this, right? Two men, basically, you have somebody at work, your uncle, your cousin, your granddad. But like you said, if you don't have that person, you have to rely on your inner self and strength to say your dreams, your destiny, your worth, your value, your purpose is much more than this right now selfish decision that you are about to make. Understand that, hey, it gets hard. You feel like you are alone. Don't nobody understand. No one is listening. You do hints. You drop signs. You know, this ain't just out the blue. Like, oh, I'm selling all my stuff, or
Right.
I'm not going nowhere. This for the whole month. You know what I'm saying? You normally this jolly, happy person, and you shut down. You wearing sunglasses. I was wearing sunglasses to work. Like I was just crying every day. I'm like, whatever. Ain't nobody said nothing. I said, well, don't nobody care. So yeah, it's cool. I can clock up out of here and not be missed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I would tell them, definitely pray. You know, I believe in God. I'm a Christian, but whoever you feel deemed necessary it is, tap into that
Yeah.
and have that conversation and say, you know, get their opinion. You know, God is always going to say, you know, you choose life and life more abundantly, and you should live and not die. And, you know what I'm saying, you should declare the works of the Lord. And, you know, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. And so that was the conversation that he gave me when I pretty much had a heated debate, you know, with him. But and I would encourage you to reach out and get help, because therapy is not deemed that you're crazy, right?
Yeah.
It is professional, educated advice where you
Mm-hmm.
can sit and not only, because this is what, and I'm gonna say the Black community does,
Of
because
course.
we have a horrible stigma on it. Oh,
Yes.
you gonna see that strength, or you something wrong with you. You must be crazy.
Right.
No, and the Black, we push it under the rug.
Yes.
Nothing gets healed, and you stack on trauma and delusion and
Mm-hmm.
confusion and hurt and pain, where we like to cut the grass, but nobody's digging up the root to say that we're going to cancel out this generational curse,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, I was not going to allow that to be my child's, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have a happy memory instead of a horrible nightmare. You got to think about the people that's going to affect, because it's not just you in this moment. If you
Yes.
clock up out of here, your mama, your sister, your brother, your
Yes.
cousin, your friend, your coworker, your high school, college, da-da-da, everybody's going to be affected because you think maybe they didn't call you back yesterday. Okay, people have lives. Things
Yes.
go on. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Have another conversation. Extend grace, because somebody extended it to you. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And so you got to have those moments to say, look, let me circle back. But damn, they might have been busy yesterday. So, hey, what's up? You know, oh, yeah, you know, my dog died, or da-da-da, or, you know what I'm saying, I had a situation with mom. Okay, boom. And they'll have a conversation with, man, I was going through yesterday, and then you pick it up from there. Don't just assume that don't nobody care, ain't nobody listening,
Yeah.
nobody notice you, because yes, the enemy will make it seem that you are all by yourself in a corner and just stop breathing.
All right, Sir Ty, man, I need you to do me a favor. Hold on tight, man, because we got to go to our first break, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, this is Conversations with Ryan Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM. streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. I have Sir Ty and Miss Angie in the building. Hit us up, man. Drop us a line, 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. And we'll be right back after this with Sir Ty and Angie right here on Conversations with Ron. See you in a sec. New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
Hey family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. If you're looking for quality catering and barbecue, you need to contact my friends at Kuzan's Catering and Barbecue Team. Mr. Eddie Bunch and Kuzan's have been serving the West Bank since 2013 with their quality selection of barbecue and seafood. If you're looking for quality catering, be sure to contact Kuzan's Catering, located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or you can go to kuzansonline.com for more information for all the services that they offer, or call 504-233-4227. Catering done the right way just for you. That's Kuzan's, baby.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
WBOK online at WBOK1230.com.
It's the place where we can be open and honest about real life issues. You're listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Hey, you're tuned into Conversations with Ron Richardson. I'm co-hosting, and we have our special guest, Sir Ty.
Yo, yo, yo. How we doing, people?
We're doing okay over here.
Yeah. And so, yeah, back to, I guess he was asking, the advice I would give to just take a step back. Sometimes you might need to go to a park, mute your life. There's so much noise, and you got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all them apps strolling, and it's like maybe you just need to turn all of that off.
Yeah.
Get your own self, go take a walk by yourself, get yourself together, get out the house, change your clothes, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself in another environment.
Right.
Or if you're feeling that type of energy, that atmosphere needs to change. And if it's not changing, you need to remove yourself and go somewhere else. Go by your mom or call a friend, go take a ride, put on your favorite, gospel song or whatever, and just kind of tap in and meditate and just really just like think it out. Like if you do this, what is it going? How massive is this blow going to be?
Right.
Because it's just not worth it.
Like they say, go outside and touch the grass.
Right.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of what you're saying, man, I went through a week where I cut the cell phone off, and I was like, yo, I need some help. And, you don't realize how much trauma you unpack from your childhood. And what people don't touch on is, okay, not to talk badly about our parents, but like you said earlier, childhood trauma starts at home. And,
Right.
The stuff that our parents pass on to us unknowingly has a big effect on how we navigate through life, man. I lost my grandmother 8 years ago this coming July, and I damn near say this every week on the air. I never had that time to grieve. I mean, I grieved and I went right back to work. And I mean, here we are, 7, 8 years later, I was sitting home one day and I just was like, I can't do this. So I took it upon myself to go ahead and, start therapy, and it's one of the best things ever, man. Like,
Amen. Yeah.
it's something to look forward to every week, but not a lot of men are able to admit that, hey, I need some help. We bottle everything in, and we just, internalize things, and we never really deal with what's in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you said, especially as men, that ego, that macho, that masculinity. Oh, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I say this when I was hosting the panel on Father's Day, that we make it look easy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Somebody asks you a question. Oh, I'm good, but we hurt, cutting, bleeding on the inside, but we could, we fine. Well, I'm all right. It's gonna be cool. But like you said, there is nothing wrong, especially men, but black men, to go get professional help.
Say that.
We need to normalize that it is okay, because what happens, like we talk about the packed stress and trauma that it's going to continue. Is not prayer, amen, hallelujah, but at the same time professional. God gives other people talents and education to kind of help navigate, like you said, walking through the healing process. Like, Jesus is amen, but he created other entities to help you get to where you got to be in life as well. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and then one thing I heard years ago that made so much sense to me was that you go to the dentist to get your teeth checked, you go to your primary care to get your body checked.
Right.
Why not go somewhere and get your mind checked? And it's just literally a checkup. And if more people would take that into consideration, I think that would make it a little bit easier and kind of debunk that stigmatism around mental health, because it's literally a checkup for your mind, which essentially checks up on your heart, your body, your spirit. Everything else falls into place once you understand your mind and why you're doing certain things or thinking certain things. It just helps everything to make sense. And I think we need to just make that, normalize it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have to. One of the things that I want to touch on, during the course of the show, Angie, you say we have to normalize it, but the reason why we don't normalize it is because of how the black family is set up.
Yeah.
We were taught to, don't say anything about
what
this.
goes on in the house stays
what
in the
goes
house.
on in the house
Yeah.
stays in the house, and
Right.
you're dealing with these people that have been molested, have been, done whatever by family members, and they internalize that, and it never gets talked about.
Yeah.
So this is why you have people, committing suicide and different things of that nature, because they don't have anybody to turn to. And a lot of times, I've even thought about, who do I have to turn to?
Right.
Who can I talk to?
Right.
Because let's be real and forthcoming here. We can't come to our family with everything.
No.
That part.
Right. Because family is going to give us a biased opinion, and they're going to try to tell us what they think we should be doing. And,
Right.
that's not what we want. Sometimes I'm just looking for a listening ear. I'm not looking for a response. I'm just looking for
let me get it out my head.
That exactly.
And let me tell you the easiest thing though, and when y'all were talking earlier about just mental health and suicide and everything, most times you have somebody, it's just a misunderstanding. You think that they're too busy or whatever, and they're like, why didn't you just call me?
Yeah.
Or they'll say, everything is not personal. So we all do have our own lives. But if you would just have a conversation with that person that you trust the most and say, hey, look, I'm really going through something. Do you have a few moments? Can you talk to me? And then you'll realize that, hey, all you needed to do was just ask. And I think we don't think that we can go to people. But if we just open up and just ask, hey, are you able, or can I talk to you about this? We may actually have somebody that we can talk to. We just assume we don't.
Right.
But piggyback off that, what you're saying, like, I'm normally the strong friend. So
Yeah.
if I do have moments, like Ron was saying, who do I go to?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
it's almost like you're the dumpster. Everybody comes to you
That's
with
me.
problems. You're everybody counselor. You got a solution for everybody but yourself.
That's
And so
me.
when
Yes.
you need to pour out, oh, you'll be all right. Oh, they don't take you serious. I've
At
been
all.
there and I
Yes.
understand.
Man, what? You can
But
say that
yeah,
again.
mm,
Go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? I've been
Finish it
there,
up.
you know what I'm saying? And you like really pouring your heart out, and then always it's a joking matter, or they laugh. Oh, you always strong, or you gonna be all right. I'm like, I'm literally in damn tears, and you talk about I'm gonna be all right. No, I need help.
Yeah.
And so you have to just, like you said, Angie, know who to go to. You know,
Mhm.
I don't need a joke right now. This is serious. Like, really let them know, like, hey, I'm, phone off or whatever. Let's really talk because I'm going through something that it's overwhelming for me. So that's why I'm actually coming to you in this
Right.
moment.
Because you don't want it to be that moment where something does happen and they did reach out and you took that for granted and said, oh, no, you're fine. She was fine. And no, she wasn't fine. She actually said what she needed, or he
Right.
said what he needed. And, so I think a lot of people have to be more mindful that
Mhm.
we're all dealing with a lot. And I think COVID
Ooh.
kind of took us over the top. Like
Yeah.
people were stuck inside and isolated and everything. That took us to a whole nother level. So we're now dealing with the after effects of all of that. And I think that is even more of a reason for if somebody comes to you,
Mhm.
make sure you're listening and take them seriously. Nobody's going to joke about feeling like, oh, I'm not going to say nobody. Some people are attention seeking,
Right.
but we're not talking about that.
Right.
We're
Right.
talking about the
Right.
people who truly have issues. Like,
Yeah.
listen to them and take what they're saying into consideration. And you don't have to say, everybody's not looking for advice. Like y'all said, they just want a listening ear.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem. Everybody wants to pass an opinion, and
Mm.
you just sometimes looking for that listening ear to say, okay, you know what, everything is going to be
Mhm.
okay. I've
Oh,
been the victim of that too. Come to certain friends with certain things, and they're like, well, yeah, but let me tell you about what I got going on. I'm like,
Yeah.
you tell me I can open up to you, but
And they make it about them.
and it's
Yeah.
like, why do I even say anything?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And another thing is, like we talked about in the last segment, man, social media. Social media
Yes.
plays a big part in
Mhm.
why I think the world is the way it is today,
Oh,
because
for sure.
everybody wants to communicate through social media. Nobody wants to pick up the damn phone and say,
And
hey,
tap in.
Yeah.
tap in, tap in with me. Just
Yeah.
call me to see how I'm doing. I don't know
Mhm.
about, you all. I think I can speak for all three of us, but I'm still at old school where I'm like, hey, look, what's going on? I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you and I'm going to see what's going on.
I'm gonna say a half and half. I'm a heavy texter because I'll be on
Yeah.
set a lot. So
Oh my
like, call
God.
me
Of
when I
course.
get off, or
Right.
I'm a strong texter at times.
Right.
And a
But
strong voice note sender.
there you go.
it's
Yeah. So that's almost a phone call, but
It
Right.
you gonna
surely
hit me.
is.
it is
Yeah.
crazy because the night before the interview, last night, or yesterday evening rather, I was like, this is textable. So that's why I text you, and I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll talk to him tomorrow on air, and we'll probably talk after the interview a little bit, man. But nonetheless, I'm glad you're here. So I want to touch on, you know, some of your films.
Mhm. Okay.
Some of your films, tackle some real emotional issues. How does Sir Ty pick which stories are worth telling?
Who? Let's see, the roles that I've been selected for. I'm gonna say that I've been blessed that most of them I haven't had to audition. They kind of found me, and so once I get the script, I analyze it. You do character analysis and development, and okay, I tell my young actors, you don't act like this person, you become them. So, what is relevant in you that you can bring to life? Because what's magical about creating or being an actor, it's like it's black and white right there. You have the power to literally read this, bring this character to life, and it comes forth on camera via you. And so taking the time to really dig in, they may be from Chicago, okay, it may be cold, okay, you sniffing, or, what I'm saying, you just go through all the elements of what would this person do if they were really in this situation.
Mhm.
And so emotional side, like I said earlier, everyone has a sad moment. Somebody died. You may have seen death in front of you, or a car accident, or whatever. Some type of pain, because that's kind of everybody's cousin. Is pain, and it don't discriminate. And so you can tap and pull on those heartstrings. Because right now I can cry in an instant, because I got a whole database of pain I can pull from. Right? Oh my God, and go there. Right? And so, like I said, now, to answer that question, with my production company, I'm actually next week having meetings about this wonderful guy, Mr. Thomas. We're going to sit, and he has scripts that's already ready, so that we're going through to see what scripts that we're going to be bringing to networks and production companies and things of that sort. So like I said, on the backside of the acting, I want to know everything. Who's signing the contract? How much actors getting paid? You know what I'm saying? How do we, find locations? And I just learned how to do a pitch deck like last week for my own stuff. So it's like I love to learn, because I get bored easily. So to answer your question, it's like it's fun. It should be fun, because this is not work for me. I don't got to do this. I get to do this, you
Right.
know.
That's good.
So in it can be overwhelming at times. Like when, because I just don't do this. It's so many. I'm creative director. This past Saturday, I had a photo shoot with a young model by the name of Gino. We had 8 different looks, 6 locations, and then I had to go to, let's say, a party and then meet up with and go out to eat. So it's just like that was just Saturday. So it's like the different hats. Some would call you a little psycho. Like how do you do it? Because I don't know. I can't answer that question. It just happened.
I've asked myself that question also, man, by watching you online, and I'm like, this dude is everywhere, and I'm
Yes,
like,
he is.
Ty, when do you sleep, bro?
He
'Cause-
does.
I know. That's today. I haven't been asleep last night. I just got in.
And,
But
I get that asked a lot too since I've been working in radio. I'm coming up on my 16th year anniversary in August, and
Come on, congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you, man.
you just posted that picture with that baby face. That was a long time ago.
Look at him. Watch out there now.
Oh my God! And when I think back on it, I'm like, man, why in the hell and how in the hell did I get into this business, man? Because it has been a crazy journey, sleepless nights, but at the
But
end,
it's worth it.
Yeah, at the end, and that's what I was about to say. At the end of the day, it's worth it, because you finally see the fruits of your labor, and you're finally starting to see not the finished product, but the finished products that you've worked on, and you finally see what you are capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
So, Sir Ty, have you ever turned down a role?
Yes. Like I said, it's more so of discernment for me, right? I not to say I know everything, because I don't, but when I do not know, I tap in. Okay, God, listen, it's a yes or no. If you say we're doing it, it's balls to wall, 100%. I'm there every day with the boop. Or if it's something that I have to pull back from, like, hey, I respectfully decline. It's just not for me. And you move on. And what I've learned in this 40-year bracket of my life, that I'm not taking things personal.
Yeah.
It's business. It is what it was. Like, if we're gonna do it, hey, if not, then get somebody else. What did all that? Find somebody else to do it.
Find somebody else.
It just won't be me. It's not gonna be me. But yes, I have, and probably will in the future. As well. But you have to know what fits you, because what is your value, and everything with me, you have to be on brand. If it's something that's ranky danky and don't make sense, and it's repeated lines, I'm like, thank you for the offer, but it's not gonna happen. No, ma'am, no, sir. So you have to have standard. You have to present yourself with boundaries and know what is for you and what is not. Right. I learned a long time ago that smiling faces tell lies. Like, you're not everybody's friend, and just because they come to you with this huge door, that may not be the blessing for you.
Right.
And so you have to make the decision in prayer, in discernment, and weighing the options. Is this going to be a good look fit? Not just because the money good, but down the line, when I look back, will I be happy with the decision that I made 10 years ago? And in that moment, I just have to say, it's not going to work for me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, to touch a little bit more on your filmmaking career, What and who are some artists who have influenced Sir Ty?
Mm. Well, I was a big Marty Martin. Martin Lawrence was one of my. I would watch him every single day. Reruns, and
Of
like
course.
Martin Lawrence was just hilarious to me. How and what I've learned, a lot of stuff wasn't even scripted. Like they just had
Yes.
fun on set.
Right.
We
And
experienced that. Like we grew up with that.
Hmm. We
what?
did.
What? Oh,
With
Martin.
With
Martin
Martin,
seeing
yeah.
that as it's
Yes,
happening. Like
yes,
it's a
yes.
classic now, but we grew up in the midst of
We was
that.
in that era.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the magic of it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, and then definitely every cast member from Living Single. Like I would
Let's
just
go.
I've worked with her name is Alexandra, but like Maxine Shaw, we
Yeah,
worked
Erica.
together on
Mm-hmm.
BET.
Maxine Shaw.
Um, and she is so dope and
Really?
so down to earth
Yeah.
and just teachable. Like in between cuts, she's giving knowledge. Hey, y'all need to do this. Make sure you get your headshot. I'm like, you need to be studying your lines, and you giving us, advice on what we need to be doing. It just oozed out. It poured out of education and like what you need to be doing, how you need to have your reel set up. And I was like, wow, thank you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a wonderful feeling to see somebody on television, but now they're having a conversation with you,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, those were the people that inspired me coming up. The black brown people that I can see that were doing it.
Yes.
Number one shows and winning awards, and coming in every episode hitting it. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a joy. So yeah, definitely those were my heroes.
Okay.
So what has been, before we go to break in a few minutes, what has been some of the toughest situations that you've been in since you've been in the industry of filmmaking?
Whew. I'm gonna talk about one that crushed me. I I had opportunities to go to LA, right? Now y'all know that my babies, my legacy, my children are everything. So to say no to, let's say, opportunities crushed me because I'm like, I know I could have been further in my career, but I knew I was a dad and that would have taken me away from my children.
Mm-hmm.
One particular situation I did say yes to because it was a flight in and a flight back. But get this. Me and my my manager at the time, this was back in 2012. I had an opportunity to be on. I don't know if you guys remember the show R&B Divas LA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shantae Moore
Very well.
and Kelly Price. So they
Mm-hmm.
had a big scene, whatever, and they were supposed to get like a red carpet host. I was supposed to be that red carpet host.
Really?
What?
I had booked the ticket,
And you had to
contract
turn it
was
down.
signed, and no, I was, we were going.
Okay.
Now we get to the airport. Now
Mhm.
here is the piss off. Tickets, we sitting there, and that back in the day, they would have like aircraft bomb scares. So they had a bomb alert at the Atlanta airport, and when I tell you, I just had to walk off because I was gonna be a part of that bomb squad. Like, what you mean? The plane did not take off.
Oh
It was like,
my
you can go
goodness.
tomorrow. I was like, no, we need to be there tonight. Like, they had to find somebody else. I was supposed to be on the show, and I guarantee you that probably would have taken my career to another level. But
Yes.
it's the moments like that. It's like it's heartbreaking, but then it's like, well, maybe it was God's protection. It was.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
know for me, I wasn't ready. I would have messed it up. I would have been on
Mm-hmm.
TMZ somewhere, and hey, I got the money. But now going through what I went through, I see like, oh yeah, God, yeah, I see what you did there. I wanted to go, but then you stopped that, or you pressed pause until I
Mm-hmm.
got everything
Right.
aligned, zero ego, making sure all of that mess is gone. And so now when entering in, what they say, this go round with wisdom, with knowledge, experience, and understanding, yeah,
Yes.
you're going to appreciate moments and memories now. And so therefore I can look at it and say, yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. Though I wanted to go, I was highly upset that day.
Yeah,
But
man. I can look back on my radio career and like I said earlier, I thought I was ready, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I had went through, set me to where I need to be right now. So it's all about God's timing. And just staying the course, man. So you know what? We got to go to our second break. All right, Ty?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hit us up, 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. And I have Sir Ty in the building and Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. Angie, tell them where they can get in contact with you.
You can find everything about me at sincerelyangiem.com.
All right, Ty, tell them where they can get in contact with you, bro.
Sir Ty online, on IG, and then Ty Gowdy on Facebook.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson.
Start your day off right.
Just getting your day started.
Early morning gospel on WBOK.
Ron Richardson here. If you are like me, that means you love the feeling of getting a fresh haircut and shave. If you do, then you should check out my friends Eddie and Dana Bunch at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon, specializing in hairstyles for men, women, and children. If you want to make a good first impression, you should check out First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or call 504-341-6777. Remember, it's never too late to make that first impression at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK, and listen online at WBOK1230.com. Now, back to Ron.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, and we're also on YouTube. Remember, guys, you can hit me up on Facebook. Just search for the Ron Rich or Ron Richardson Facebook page, and you can also find me on Instagram. Just search for Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram, and I also have a secondary Instagram page. Just search for Ronnie_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. You can find out everything that is going on in my life and my beloved dog Queen and my activism and everything about cerebral palsy that you could ever want to know. Nonetheless, I have my very, very special guest, Sir Ty, in the building. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? I'm enjoying the time.
All right, brother. All right, and I have my lovely co-host, Angie. She's known on Facebook as Angie Boo. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, man. It's great to have you back in the air chair with me, my sidekick.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like
man.
that air chair.
Yeah, the air chair. She's sitting in the air chair today while I'm in the studio controlling everything. So, but nonetheless, I'm glad to have you guys here, man.
Family reunion.
Yeah.
02,
Class of
represent.
2002, man.
Yes.
And, shouts out
Yes,
to Latoya, class of 03. She was on last week. She's doing great things
Nice.
too. Yeah.
Nice.
So we need to do, it would be cool if we all had the time just to come down to the radio station and do one big, but
Oh, they. I don't know if you want all us in one.
Well,
It could
listen,
happen.
I will be home first week of July. So what's up?
we're gonna talk after
One
the show,
thing
my
Sir
brother.
Ty gonna do is book. He
Yeah.
gonna book something.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. And it's crazy
So-
because, man, we tried to make it happen, since, the last interview, but our schedules and myself making transitions, because I move and shake too, but man, it
Yeah.
just was crazy. So I'm really glad to have you, on the air with me today, bro. It is amazing to see, what we've all become,
Yeah.
That
walking
part.
halls, from L.W. Higgins. And I said this last week on air. Also, we had some rough days in high school.
Yeah.
We had some rough days in
Yeah.
high school. Yeah. But it's just
Yeah.
amazing how, I watched all of us grow,
Yes.
and become the successful people that we are today. And I love y'all for real.
Oh, we love you
I
right
love you back. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Love you, Angie.
Oh yeah.
Anniversary.
Hey.
Hey, it's gonna happen. We'll talk and we'll make something happen. Even if we
Yes.
got to
Oh
do
yeah.
something amongst ourselves to get this whole thing going.
Mhm.
I want to
Definitely.
get back into the interview, and I want to touch on your organization, Forever Fathers. So
Yes.
why don't you touch on that and tell us how that whole uh, organization got started?
Well, was going through as some may know, a mighty divorce with the other parent from my first divorce, and pretty much during that time, I guess she, had met her next or her, future husband, and was like, "Hey, I found someone to raise the kids in your place, so you can go ahead and live your lifestyle, be gay or whatever, and you're not needed." And she told me that,
So
and
wait, let's
I
backtrack
kind
for
of,
a minute. That actually happened.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was almost because I don't know if it was the out of body. Like, is she really talking? Like, you do know I love my children to life and death, and you saying that sign my rights over because I can go do and da da da. And just because somebody showed up in your life, you think I'm just gonna sign it over because I don't think so. And my response and rebuttal was, how can I say, PG-13? Don't you
Please.
ever disrespect me ever again in your life, because I don't care if I'm gay, straight, bi, alcoholic, or a clown on the street. I will forever be our children's father. And
Yeah.
so that's what that was birthed out of over about 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, and I always fed on it,
Mhm.
because I know it's going to be bigger than me. To help other fathers, and I'm still going through. We're going probably back to court coming up soon. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's still an ongoing thing, and the organization is still being developed. But next year we're going to just have a massive. We will talk about it, but how it got started is basically from that moment. And recently, a couple of years ago, we made the news, and it's Black fathers being honored, because we get the most disrespect, we get stepped on, we get forgotten about. We mainly, I guess, society looks at Black fathers as, your deadbeats, or, you don't take care of responsibilities. And our tagline is, we're nobody's baby's father, baby's daddy, we're father to our legacy, and that we are present, we are accountable, and we handle our responsibility as far as when we are actively involved in our children's lives. So what happens is, I take pictures or, fathers send me pictures with them and their children. I post them up. But what we're going to do is have like a whole conference next year. I can't talk about everything because, what I'm saying, I might have to go to court for somebody at the moment. But it's going to be an official conference, 2026 Forever Fathers annual conference, and we're going to shut Atlanta down for 3 days. And
As you should. That's wonderful.
yeah.
That is great, man. So what are some of the other things that, Forever Fathers focuses on?
Well, like I said, giving them the highlight, but what it will transition to, let's say if it's Christmas time and the fathers can't really afford Christmas gifts, we want to have donations. Let's say school is coming up and, it's your responsibility to get the kids clothes, or you got to go to court. You may not have a suit, may not have representation. So eventually I want to have attorneys on staff where you can call, ask questions, like, okay, well, they're doing this to me. What are my rights legally, to remain calm? Because that's the most important thing that they want to say is, oh, he angry. He get mad now.
Right.
Y'all do everything to us. Take all our money, and we're not supposed to have no type of emotion at all, right? And so you have to remain calm, because that's the stigma that's attached to Black dads who we angry and don't let them get custody. And so it's going to be Black fathers helping Black fathers, and that's mainly what it's going to end up being. And just like a brotherhood, like, hey, you may be having some down moments, even because we don't know the handbook written on how to raise kids, and not especially in today's society with who we have and all, X, Y, Z that is going on. time now. And so we band together, and we're going to start doing a lot more community work, and you'll be seeing a lot of the fingerprints of Forever Fathers once we get everything solidified. So it's you gonna know what's going on. I'll say that.
I almost said something about that person that's in office, but
It's a whole nother-
we already know. That's why I stopped myself, because when they
Please.
say they're listening in.
yeah, please. Got to keep it professional, or at least attempt to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But Sir Ty, man, we got to get out of here. I'm sorry the time was so short, my brother, but any last words of encouragement before Conversations with Ryan Richardson closes? And I want to ask this question. Words of encouragement, and what would you have to say to the young up-and-coming filmmakers, man, that are trying to break into this game that you're in?
Got you. Well, words of encouragement: 1, you keep God first, you pray, you plan, and then you proceed. Anything in life, it's pros and cons, and if you plan to fail, then it won't be a manifestation. So you have to make sure that you dedicate everything as far as searching it out and then executing it. Next, if you're a young filmmaker, don't allow anyone to place you in the box. Don't allow anyone to say that you can't, and don't accept no. Go forth, shine, and then put it out, and then let the chips fall where they may, because we'll see you at the top.
That part.
All right, man. All love to you, and all the best in the near future. And we will talk soon, my brother, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. This has been Conversations with Ryan Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. See you same time, same place, same bad channel next Saturday at 9 a.m. live. Special thanks to my homegirl, Miss Angie, in the air chair. All the best to you too, all right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll see you guys next week. New Orleans, peace and love. It's been real. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Bye, guys.
WBOK online at WBOK 1230.